Hey, it's Ollie from NAPC, the Annexe expert. For a moment, I just thought we'd spend a bit of time discussing the use of conditions and also legal agreements, so Section 106s, when it comes to getting planning permission for your annex. Now, as we know, an annex, well, it's fully self-contained, isn't it? It contains a bedroom, it contains a bathroom, a kitchen, living space. In essence, it could be used as a new dwelling. It could create a new dwelling in the bottom of your garden pretty easily. And that's exactly what the council will be nervous about when they see your application across their desk. They'll look at the plans, see that it's fully self-contained and think, well, potentially this could be used as a self-contained or completely new dwelling in the bottom of your garden, something that would normally be resisted in that location. So what can we do then to try and overcome or mitigate that concern from the council? Now, one way is the use of planning conditions. So these are conditions that are attached to any planning permission that is granted. Now, the use of conditions in planning is great because it can make an unacceptable development acceptable through the use of that condition. So in this case, when it comes to your annex, what we would suggest is that they approve the application subject to a condition that says you can only use the annex in an ancillary way. You can't separate it off. You can't use it as a new dwelling in the future. That would then mitigate those concerns of it potentially being used as a new dwelling in the future. And if you were ever in breach of that condition, if you did start using it as a new dwelling, then the council could issue obviously enforcement action against you. Now, unfortunately, some councils, they feel that that condition is not a strong enough mechanism in order to control the use. So some councils will say, we're going to use a legal agreement. So a Section 106, they're called in planning. Now, this is a far much stronger and onerous process than a planning condition is. What this would do and it entail is that the council's legal team, they would draft a legal heads of terms. Now, in this heads of terms, it would say that you can only use the annex in an ancillary way. No, you can't separate it off in the future. You can't use it as a new dwelling. And if you did in the future, well, you'd be in breach of that legal agreement between you and the council. Now, they would issue these heads of terms to you in draft. You would get them obviously reviewed by your own legal team. And then any third party interest, such as potentially a mortgage company or any freehold or leasehold interest, they would all have to agree to this legal agreement. And if you agreed to it, well, you'd all sign it. And then that would form part of an agreement between the property, so those who own the main house, and the council to say that we're never going to separate this annex off in the future. It's just a stronger mechanism in order to control the use and can really help alleviate those concerns from the council. So if you are struggling to get permission because of this ancillary argument, do feel free to reach out to us here at NAPC. We can get involved, we can potentially suggest these conditions or legal agreements, and we can help see you through with that and hopefully get you permission for your annex.